But it is a Friday, and we are so glad that you're spending your Friday, September 18th with us. And we are joined by a special guest this morning.
That's right, fashion trend expert and friend of the show, Mariana Keros is here. Good morning, Mariana.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, you're here to talk about New York Fashion Week. Where does New York Fashion Week fit in? You have Milan, you have Paris. Where does New York fit in today?
You know what, I have to tell you, Keenan, New York is really considered now one of the premier fashion weeks. I mean, they're all over the world, but I have to tell you, a great indication of that is that Givenchy, this season was the first time that they premiered in New York.
Really?
And it was a big fashion buzz. So I really consider that the American collections and the New York show is really top drawer.
I love that. Well, let's start talking about some of the trends that you've noticed. I understand you really took notice initially to the skirts. I think we have some from Michael Kors to show you.
Yes, you know, what we do is we look at all the collections and then we look to see what the dominant statements were. And those high slit skirts were really prevalent through all the collections. Here it's an example from Michael Kors, and you can see it's the car wash pleat.
I was about to say it's like a double slit. Okay.
And we saw a lot of that as well. So I know, we even pointed that out when we did the VMA Awards.
Yes.
We noticed that
very high slits.
It's really about the leg this season. So I think we're going to be seeing more and more of that. And then here, Altazara, beautiful skirt.
I like that.
Really, really high slits.
That's elegant.
Interesting that both of those are also black and white.
You know, I'm so glad you brought that up, Keenan, because as a color story, we were seeing black, white, navy, red, some of the primary colors, but really pulled off of the blacks, the whites, and the navies.
Got it.
So, you know, Keenan's such a fashion guy. I knew he'd pick that up.
He's all about it.
Yeah, I knew that.
He's
I'm not surprised. And then here we have Narciso Rodriguez, really an elegant designer. And he is very minimal. He had worked with Calvin Klein years ago, and you can just see it evident in his collection.
It's a
but I love
silhouette.
this. Beautiful, with just the extended leg.
You also told us that you noticed a bit of a military theme there as well with some of the fashions, including rag and bone.
Yes, we saw a lot of military influences, and that usually includes not only the cargo pockets, but a lot of the olive drab colors, a lot of frayed materials, very distressed and worn. And here, what you'll see with rag and bone, on the sleeveless jacket that they show here, we have the big cargo pockets on the jacket, also on the slacks there. So it's a little bit more of a dressed up military look. It's not as worn and weathered, but those elements as a trend are very important. Here from Alexander Wang, we have a shorter jacket. This is true military inspired. So really look for those cargo pockets on jackets and for the
shoulders.
Very structured in this case for the jacket.
Yes. And then the last look we have here is from Greg Lauren. His whole collection, this was the first time that he premiered exclusively women's clothes.
And Ralph Lauren is his uncle, right? And he was like an artist turned designer.
Exactly, and he's really one of my favorite designers because all of his clothes, I think, are very forward and very current. They're frayed. They're just really daring in their details and their treatments, and I think it's really very incoming.
I like that because it adds a little movement.
I would really watch Greg Lauren and see where you know, he progresses in his career. He's an exciting designer.
I know Vogue characterized him as like post-apocalyptic urban.
I love it.
So I was
especially with the military themes, you actually it works out there.
Yes, Mad Max-ish,
so
to speak. Yeah.
And here we have boots, but we want to focus on some other footwear here with Alexander Wang.
The whole idea of city sneakers. You know, we were seeing that with the athleisure trend, where all of the athletic looks are really becoming streetwear now. People are going from the gym to the street, but it's even becoming more dressed up, where you're going to see this whole idea of sneakers, which are considered your normal streetwear, and you're going to see them with dresses. Here we have Ralph Lauren, where it's just a really cool look. It's a longer pea coat, it's a baggier slack, but he has a tan leather sneaker here that really pulls it together.
And in some ways, it's kind of retro. I mean, when we think of the 80s, we had people that were going to work, mainly ladies that were going to work, but they'd always have their sneakers on.
You know, I never even thought of that, but that is so true. I remember it in that movie where they did 9 to 5. That's how the whole thing started out, and that's an excellent point. Yeah, I got to keep you around for fashion. This is very helpful. These are good sound bites for me.
Now this is Calvin Klein?
Yes, and Calvin now, through his entire collection, every single footwear was this sneaker. He had it done in satin. This happens to be in black satin. He opened up in white satin. But notice the very thick white lug sole.
I don't know if we can drop the banner there to see it.
That rubber sole is really a very strong element of this trend.
It's like a platform.
It is, and it's a slip-on for guys too. Guys, girls. So really,
no laces. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great shoe, and it's very incoming and really a must-have.
Right. And then we get going back again. Sort of, we went to the 80s. Let's go to the 70s. Jumpsuits are making a comeback.
Yes. It's really jumpsuits and flight suits. And here, Diane von Furstenberg, she really had a beautiful collection. You would really loved it, Alicia.
Ever since the wrap dress, right? I mean, she can do no wrong.
Honest to God. And it was very feminine. It was a lot of beautiful prints, a lot of fluid, feminine fabrics. But here she showed probably about 3 jumpsuits. This one I really thought was one of the prettier ones, and I really liked the patterning in it.
I love the color.
Really fun to wear. And
jumpsuits can be very flattering for the female body.
I
they tend to
think
taper
so.
And they're super comfortable.
Yes, and I think it elongates your body, and I think, to your point, you can really cinch the waist, and it is a very flattering silhouette. Here, Altazara, just a beautiful linen cream look. I think this looks terrific. You can accent this with metallics. And then, Ralph Lauren, again, but this is that flight suit look.
Got it.
He showed a couple of these in his collection. He showed a great navy satin one that really looked like you were a pilot, but I chose this one. I just thought this was a little bit more fun.
I love the crisp white.
Very, very pretty.
Now, another trend that you were talking about, we went to the 70s. Here's another one that's making a comeback. Ragged. Oh wait, did we show this one already? The bomber jacket.
Oh, yeah, the bomber jacket.
Yeah.
As a silhouette, that is really emerging, and it's like a baseball jacket look, and also an elongated one looks more like a bomber one. Here, Tommy Hilfiger had a couple of them. This is a little shorter, and it had a lot of embroidery on it. We saw a lot of them from Alexander Wang. We saw a lot from Alexander Wang. Just, I mean, a myriad of bomber jackets.
And there are your colors again, black, white, with that red.
Yes.
I love it. Well, Mariana, of course, you're going to be back with us Monday. We're going to be talking about
the Emmy red carpet.
Emmy's red carpet.
Which
I know.
I'm anxious to see if any of these trends we're going to see on the red carpet. So
you think the slit?
I think we're going to see that slit. I think that's going to be pretty dominant.
And that'll be this weekend. I'll have a look at the forecast. We'll let you know whether, we're going to be looking for rain. Well, maybe the fashionably dressed in Metro Detroit will carry umbrellas this weekend.
I like it.
We'll see. I'll have a look at the forecast for you coming up.
Thank you, Mariana.
Great to be here.